What's up guys, my name is Natalie and welcome to a new reading vlog. Today is Sunday the 28th and I yesterday started reading Verity by Colleen Hoover. My idea for this reading vlog is that I'm basically going to be reading books that my friends have been wanting me to read because I always find myself trying to read those books but then I just read other stuff instead, and so I wanted to prioritize finally the books that my friends have been recommending to me because it's not that I don't want to read them, I just never end up actually reading them, if that makes sense. Also, sorry if my voice sounds weird. I've been a little bit sick, so just ignore that. I'm on chapter 4, which is page 61, so not too far, but I'm definitely intrigued by the plot of this so far. And the point that it's at, I'm super interested to see where this is gonna go because I definitely already can tell that some weird stuff is going on and I just want to see what it is. I know the general concept of this is she moves into this household because the wife was in a bad accident and she is basically paralyzed, I think, and so she can't continue writing the stories that she's been writing, and so it's a 9-book series and she already wrote 6 of them. The main character, whose name I cannot remember, it's like a weird name, it starts with an L, Lowen. So Lowen has to finish writing the stories. She's moving into the house with these people, not moving in, she's only temporarily there, but she goes to their house to stay for a little bit so that she can look through this lady's office because she has stuff everywhere and the husband doesn't know what all of it is, so he's like, just come and look through it and you can figure out what you're supposed to be doing with the books. And that's as far as I've gotten, but it's a very weird situation. They have lost 2 of their daughters to different accidents that are unrelated. It has a very mysterious atmosphere and you just feel like there's something missing from the picture and you can't quite figure out what it is. Definitely super invested so far and excited to see where this goes. And something else that I want to mention is that they also have a 3rd kid who, his name is Crew, I think. Yeah, his name is Crew. And it very much breaks the tension, and just this kid's presence and like him interacting with the dad, it makes the atmosphere less creepy and more like the main character can actually be in this place and not feel like someone is gonna kill her. That's definitely an aspect of this that I like because there's the creepy vibes, but there's also like the nice vibe. You can understand why she is staying and not extremely weirded out. It almost makes the main character seem less of the idiot from the horror movie that doesn't get away from the killer, if that makes sense. I'm super excited to see where this goes. I've heard that it is super messed up and I can tell so far already. On page 8, I already audibly gasped because whenever they first met, he's like, yeah, I've seen some traumatic stuff as well. And she was like, what have you seen that's worse than that? He was like, I just pulled my 8-year-old's body out of a lake the other day or a couple months ago or something. And I was like, oh my god, that's kind of dark. I didn't realize that he had been through something like that and was just gonna like, casually say that. But also, like, again, it was a very odd scene, and so it made sense, I guess, for the conversation they were having. It matched the aesthetic of what was going on already, if that makes sense. As you can tell, lots of thoughts already. I love the backdrop of it being her writing a book and trying to make a living as an author alongside her agent person, who I'm not gonna get into that whole thing. He kind of makes me mad, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. Super excited to continue with this one. I will let you guys know when I make some more progress with this. But I'm also reading To Kill a Kingdom by Alexander Christo, which I'm not going to be talking about in this vlog because I'm doing this alongside of the other vlog that I'm doing. So this one will probably be out first. And I've never done 2 vlogs side by side like this before, so I'm excited to see how it goes. That's really all for now. But like I said, I will talk to you guys later when I make some more progress in Verity. y'all, today is Saturday, June 3rd, and if this setting looks familiar to you, it's because I just filmed a clip for one of my other vlogs. If you're getting deja vu watching this part, then that's why. But anyway, Verity, holy cow, this is so good. I'm absolutely loving this book, and I feel like I'm flying through it. I just can't wait to finish it up and see what happens at the end. This is definitely giving me Crank vibes, because my friend has been reading the Crank trilogy because I told her to, because it's absolutely amazing. All of you need to go read it. It's so good. It seems very similar to that to me, because she kept stopping and being like, oh my gosh, this wild crazy thing happened, and oh my gosh, these people are doing this absolutely crazy stuff, and these are horrible people. It's just so similar to this because I kept stopping and texting my friend and being like, oh my god, this person is insane. They did something horrible. And again, it's kind of along the same lines where at first you sort of empathize with them. You're like, oh yeah, that sucks that you feel that way. And then you see some of the things that they do, and it's like, oh my god, you need some mental help. I made a prediction about some certain circumstances, and I was right, which is so exciting, but I'm really scared for the ending. What else is gonna happen with these characters? Because I'm kind of growing attached, and that's not good, because in books like this, people die. So I'm really scared, but hopefully all goes well. Also, I got my nails done. I've never gotten my nails done before, but yeah, I got this pretty blue color, and I'm excited about it. I'm going on a wee little trip the next couple days, so I might not talk to you guys until maybe Wednesday or so. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna read after. I'm probably gonna pick up A Touch of Darkness or The Hunted. I've been wanting to pick up Love in Other Words, but I was at this used bookstore the other day and they didn't have it. I bought The Midnight Library instead, and then I saw Love in Other Words at Target the other day, and it has a different cover, and I was like, okay, now I can definitely get it because it's pretty in pink and better than the other cover, in my opinion. I'm excited about that. I'm literally looking everywhere except the camera, as per usual. That's pretty much all for now though, so I will talk to you guys later, probably Wednesday-ish, like I said. So yeah. Hey y'all, so as you just saw in the time lapse you just watched, I read a little bit more of A Touch of Darkness, and I'm enjoying this book. It's not a good book, but it's enjoyable, if that makes sense. It definitely reads a lot like a Wattpad fanfiction, but it's so enjoyable though. Basically, it's following Persephone, and she's in this place called New Athens, which is essentially just Athens, Rome, I think, but with the word new. And the people there are aware that the Greek gods exist. I guess the Roman gods. Is Athens in Rome or Greece? I'm not sure. I think it's Greek because I know Percy Jackson is the Greek gods. So Athens is probably in Greece. Anyway, enough of me not knowing my Roman mythology and Greece mythology. Persephone is a goddess. I mean, she's the daughter of Demeter is her mom. She is the goddess of plants and growing and life. She makes plants grow, and Persephone will touch a plant and it just immediately dies. And so Hades has this bar club place that he runs, and it's really hard to get into, and it's called Nevernight, and her friend gets her tickets to go there, and she goes and meets Hades there. She's disguising herself as a mortal. Nothing insane has happened yet, but it's just funny. The way she talks about him, I'm like, please stop talking. There was this one line, I was like, that is so cringy. She hadn't even met this dude yet. She glanced him standing on the balcony. I don't know what the first part of the sentence was, but the part that caught my attention, reminding her how empty she felt, how desperately she needed to be filled up. Gross. Ew. Stop. So anyway, and just the way that she talks about him, the end of one of the chapters was like, and how I want to go back and get an anatomy lesson from him. She's talking about how she desires this man, and I'm like, you met him once, girly pop, calm down. So that's kind of funny. Just some of the cringy stuff. There was a line that said she wasn't like other gods and goddesses, which is the retelling version of she's not like other girls, and I couldn't. It's so cringy and so entertaining, and I'm a fan. I also guess I haven't really talked about Verity yet, which I finished. Verity by Colleen Hoover is so good. I gave this book 5 stars. Ugh. I don't even know what to say about this. It was so good. My friend that recommended this to me, she kept saying, buckle up for the ending. You will die when you get to the end of this book. I enjoyed the ending. I thought it was satisfying. I wasn't like, shooketh to my core or anything, but this book as a whole definitely shooketh me to my core. I'm pretty sure I've summarized it for you. She finds this autobiography, and it's so dark, and it's like, telling about Verity as a person. You get to know this lady so much more than you want to, and it reveals some super deep and dark secrets The romance in this was so good. The thriller aspects, I don't read a lot of thrillers. I don't think I've ever read a thriller, honestly. And again, the ending wasn't even that shocking. Just a ride throughout this book, getting to know these people. I don't even believe the ending, because it could be the thing that it makes it sound like it is, or it could not be that thing. You know what I mean? And I think it's not that thing, because I just refuse to believe it. I just don't think so. And I also read the bonus epilogue. I've decided to pretend that it doesn't exist because it just makes me mad. It's a good epilogue, but I don't like it. I don't like what it does to the characters. I like how this book ends. It's more nice. I don't know if nice is the word. The epilogue, it gets into some psychological distress of the main character, the situation. It highlights all of the bad parts, which it kind of is a lot. It's a lot of bad stuff, but you can almost, with this ending, pretend that everything is okay. And I like that thought a lot better. It makes me a lot happier as a human being. When I was writing all this stuff in my journal thingy for having finished this book, I just counted the page numbers of this book and not with the bonus epilogue, because I was like, did I read that? No. Trauma blocking. Would recommend. 5 stars. Love, love, love this book. If you're a fan of dark stuff, please pick this up. I was reading this, hanging out with my friend, and she was reading Crank by Ellen Hopkins. The feeling that this book gives you is very similar to the feeling that book gives you. If you want a YA poetry roller coaster of a book that will leave you traumatized, please go pick up the Crank trilogy. Anyway, that's really all I have to update you guys on. I will talk to you guys later when I have read more of A Touch of Darkness. Hello to all of you beautiful people. Today is June 18th, Sunday. This book is pissing me off. I've been switching back and forth between 3 different books. The Alchemist, A Touch of Darkness, like I said, and People Kill People. I'm going to talk more about this one in my other vlog. A Touch of Darkness is the main character at the moment. So, oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start telling you guys about the shenanigans that have been going down in this book, because obviously I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a Hades and Persephone romance retelling. Hades is making me so mad because they're just having these normal, slightly awkward interactions, right? And then all of a sudden, he just starts going to town on Persephone out of genuinely nowhere. He just starts making out with her so aggressively. Where did that come from? He has an excuse, though, that he uses. He's like, oh, I did it because of this thing. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then is all disappointed. Why are you acting like you don't have feelings for her? Because he knows that she has feelings for him. He's just acting like he doesn't, but then he'll randomly kiss her out of nowhere. Stop that. It's making me so mad. It's infuriating. The fact that this is so cringy, I kind of love it. It's almost so bad that it's good, but it's also kind of good. I don't know if that really makes sense. It's a good level of me being mad. I want to keep reading just so I can watch all of it unfold, but just where things are right now, I have strong opinions. So that's where we're at with this. I'm on chapter 8, which is page 112. And then The Alchemist, I don't have too many opinions on. I'm on page 92, and this is not split up into chapters, which is super, super weird to me. There's a part 1, which is about 50 pages, and then part 2, which is basically the entire rest of the book. There is an epilogue, but it's only 5 pages or so. The actual plot of this book. There's a boy who is, I think, Arabian? Is that how you say it? Is that the word? Arabic. Arabian is a sheer skill. So I was like, that's a word, but I don't know if it's the right word. He has a dream where there's this lost treasure that he's supposed to find. He's like, oh, I'm just a shepherd. That's just a dream. And then he runs into a king who tells him he should go on this journey to seek his personal legend, I think is what it is. Which I just love that concept of everyone has a destiny that will make them super happy, but some people, they're like, oh, it's not very logical, so I'm not gonna fulfill my personal destiny. It kind of reminds me of the play I Raisin in the Sun, where it's talking about how people have these dreams, but they can't always fulfill them. This has a very similar thematic concept, I guess, to that. The 3 main things in books, obviously, are like the plot, the characters, and the writing style. And honestly, none of those things really keep my attention in this book, but I'm still really enjoying it. It's hard to explain exactly like what it is about this book that I enjoy. In terms of the plot, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Strange the Dreamer. They're going on this journey and you know that there's something at the end of it that's really exciting, but you don't really know what it is just yet. My friend, though, that recommended this to me said that she read it for school and really enjoyed it, and so I can definitely understand why this would be a book you would read in school, because again, the thematic stuff is something that I really notice about it. But yeah, that's really all for right now, so I will talk to you guys later. So today is Friday the 23rd, and I finished The Alchemist, I think 2 nights ago. I really don't have too much more to say about this than what I already have said. Just seeing how this character is learning about the world and learning how to understand the world is just a really fascinating thing to me. I enjoy this a lot. I gave it 3.5 stars, which doesn't sound like a lot, I guess, but like I said, it's not even that the plot, characters, or writing were really that exciting in this, just the theme of it, if that makes sense. And so I'm definitely really glad that I read this, but at the same time, the way that it was divided up was really weird, and so it was kind of hard to convince myself to keep reading it at points, because it's not like you're reading a chapter of it, it's just kind of a chunk, and just the plot being not that interesting brought the rating down. But again, the main ideas of this book were super good. The writing towards the end, I feel like, made me like it a lot more, and it's not that the writing improved throughout the book, if that makes sense. There's a lot more lines towards the end that I was like, this is pretty, and at the end when it's kind of wrapping it all up and saying this is why he kind of got to these different points and why this was how his adventure went, if that makes sense, it kind of talks about the reasons for stuff happening a little bit more, and it's less just telling you what's going on. And so it talking about why stuff happens, those points were where there were a lot of super pretty lines and where I was talking more about the thematic stuff, and so that's why I enjoyed those parts more than the parts where he's just going on this adventure, because it's really not a lot happening. It's kind of just him walking through the desert and then getting to this oasis and being like, oh, there's this girl that I love, him just waiting at this well for her and stuff like that. And so the point is I finished this and I enjoyed it, and I gave it 3.5 stars, and now I'm done with it, and I'm just reading A Touch of Darkness and People Kill People now. I put a poll up in the community part of the YouTube page thing, and I was asking y'all if you would rather have shorter reading vlogs and wrap-ups, or no wrap-ups but more in-depth and longer vlogs. Some of y'all voted on that, but also there wasn't a lot of votes, and so I'd rather get a more broad opinion, if that makes sense. I'll put a poll right here as well, just so that I can have y'all's as many people's opinions as I can. And so if y'all just want to click on the poll and vote, then that would be super helpful for me so that I know what kind of content to be making for y'all. So yeah, that's all for right now, so I will talk to you guys later. Hey guys, so today is, I have no idea what day it is. Today is Sunday the 25th. I finished A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, and I really enjoyed this. I give it 3.5 stars, and again, like The Alchemist, it doesn't really sound like I enjoyed it if I only gave it 3.5 stars, but there was a lot of things about this that bothered me or that just made it objectively bad, but at the same time, some of the things that were bad about this book made it enjoyable, if that makes sense. There was a lot of cringy parts of this book. Specifically, some of the spicy scenes, the way that she worded some things, I was like, please stop. Normally that stuff in books, I don't care, but just specifically the wording in this, it made it so strange and cringy. And also the way that some of the characters acted was just very childish, especially the villains. It seemed like there was no motive for them to be villains, and they kind of just did bad stuff because they could. That kind of annoyed me. It seemed like there was just no reason for them to do the things they were doing. Just the general characterization in this was not great. Hades and Persephone's relationship, I feel like you don't really get to know them that much, and there was specifically a part where she was asking him, oh, what are your hobbies? The timing of when that happened, I feel like it should have been soon after they met that she would ask something like that, but at this point, they've been together for like multiple months, it seemed like, and I was like, why are you just now asking him this? There was just a lot missing from their relationship, and I wish there would have been more cute scenes between them and not just them doing the dirty. There was one part at the very end of this book where I was like, oh, that's cute, and the rest of it, I didn't really care about them as people together, if that makes sense. But aside from that, I really liked this. I liked Persephone's strength as a character, and specifically the scenes of her being in the underworld and interacting with the dead people. I thought that those were really strong moments in this book and showed who she is as a person a lot. Just in general, it was really fun and enjoyable. And so now I am reading Divergent, which is for my We Live TBR vlog. So y'all probably won't hear from me for a bit, but after I finish one of these, I'm going to pick up Six Crimson Cranes. So I will talk to you guys later when I start reading that book. Hey y'all, so it's been quite a while since we last spoke, and that is because I have a little camera that I was going to try to start using, and that is where I filmed this clip, but it's so old that my laptop doesn't really have the software that I can put the clips from my camera onto my laptop, so I can't actually access any of the footage that I filmed on there. So basically I'm having to film this again. So if I forget to mention anything, then my apologies. There's a piece of fuzz floating. I don't have a clue the last thing that I said when I updated you guys last, but I've since finished 6 Crimson Cranes, and I give it 2 stars because I didn't really like it that much. I'm not really sure why. I don't have any complaints about it. I just didn't really care about it that much. I wasn't really attached to the characters. The writing style didn't draw me in that much, and the plot seemed like it could have been really good, but I was just not attached enough to really care that much or really pay attention a ton. So I kind of just had the audiobook on every now and again as kind of like background noise. I paid attention as much as I could, but I'm not sure I could tell you most of what happened, especially because now it's been a few weeks and I don't even know the characters' names, so that one was kind of disappointing. But aside from that, I'm very happy with my reading from this vlog. I loved Verity so much. It's probably one of my favorite books, and I enjoyed A Touch of Darkness and The Alchemist quite a bit. 6 Crimson Cranes was really the only one that I would say that I disliked. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see the other videos that I post. I was about to say on Tuesdays again. I don't know why I always still want to say that. I need to find a reasonable schedule again, but we'll see. My Bookstagram and Goodreads will be linked in the description if you guys would like to check out either of those, as well as my playlist to other vlogs that I've done. Comment down below if you guys have read any of the books that I read in this vlog, specifically Verity, and what you guys thought of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.